Hey everyone, it's Sherry Vegas, and in this resin tutorial today we're going to be creating some really cool marble effect pieces using resin, but this time I'm doing it with a little bit of a twist. I'm reversing the process I would normally do to see if that works, if it's better, if it's not. But anyway, let's get into it. For this first marble technique, I'm starting off with a silicone mold and some of my liquid metal. So if you haven't seen me make this before, I did do it in this previous video, which I'll add a little card up above so you can go and check that out and see exactly how I made it. But it is just a acrylic varnish mixed in with some silver pigment powder. And then I'm using a fine needlepoint bottle so that way I can disperse it out and get some really beautiful line work. You do find with this, the first layer does get a little bit beady, and then once you've kind of got that down and you go back over it, you can start to really get that liquid metal sticking to the silicone. It just doesn't stick the first sort of round because the silicone is so shiny and smooth. But once I've kind of got like my base down and I just go back over the top, I get a really nice finish with this. So basically what this silver line work is going to be is some fractured lines in my marble. If you've ever looked at like a big slab of marble, you would see that they've got these fractured lines going through it, and they're mostly quite random. Sometimes they're really close together, sometimes they're really far apart. They're generally quite jagged, but they don't have any sort of pattern to it because it's quite an organic shape. And sometimes you'll have like one big line with a lot of smaller lines fracturing out. So it's really good to kind of do some really thin, some really thick. That way it looks a bit more realistic, a little bit more organic. So you don't have to have these perfect lines the whole way through. It can be thicker in parts and thinner in other parts. And you can see here that now I'm going back over those previous lines and doing that second layer. I'm starting to get some really solid silver lines coming through, and I'm not having that sort of issue with it beading and not staying in place. You do need to wait for it to fully dry before you do the next step. And for this next step, I'm going to be adding in some more marble effect. And this time I'm using a marble spray paint. Now it's really important to give this spray paint a really good shake and also to test it out, because the different ways that you hold your spray paint and angle it will create different marble patterns. So it's really good to sort of test that out before you do start adding it onto your mold. So you can see I can get some really sort of thick lines, I can get some really sort of frayed out marble edges if I hold it really fast and move it. So it's always good to have a little practice, work out which angles you like before you start adding it onto your mold. The good thing is if you do put it on and you're not happy with the placement, you've made a mistake, you can always just peel it straight off. As soon as it dries, it just peels off the mold really easily, and that also then lets you have a little bit more control. You can also use some tape that I'm doing here just to lift any areas where you feel like you've got a little bit too much of that marble spray paint. And honestly, for this first one, I spent so long sort of playing around with it, trying to get it exactly how I wanted to get it. So that way it would match up with the fractured lines I had already done previously using that liquid silver. Now I've just mixed up a batch of casting resin. I think this was 300 mils in total to fit this mold, and I'm using the Barnes epoxy cast. I've divided that off into black, into a gunmetal silver, and into some sort of like a really sparkly clear mica powder. And then I'm going to be doing a dirty pour. So I've just grabbed a big cup and I'm pouring all of those colors in. Now the majority of this is black because I do want it to be black marble, and I'm just using the mica and the gunmetal silver as highlights in this. And then once you're happy with the amount you've got in, you're just going to pour that out, and this creates that dirty pour technique, which is a great technique to use when you are doing any sort of marble effect, because it just marbles those colors as you pour it out and gives you a really beautiful pattern. Now you can obviously add whatever sort of colors you want in. I kind of wanted to not go too over the top with the colors I was using in the resin, because I already had a lot of detail already done with the silver fractured lines and the white marble spray paint, that I thought if I added a ton of different colors into my resin, it would start to become a little bit too much. So that's why I just went with highlights of my gunmetal and my mica powder, just so that way the black was the feature and I wasn't overwhelming this piece with so much detail. And then halfway through I added a little bit more of my gunmetal, just because when you do a dirty pour, all the colors you pour on top, when you pour them out, they're the first ones to go. So I generally like to do half dirty pour that, and then add some more color, and then re-pour that dirty pour again. 24 hours later, this piece was ready to be pulled out of its mold, and you can see as I'm pulling it away from the mold, none of that spray paint and none of the liquid metal stuck to the mold at all, so it doesn't damage the mold by doing it this way at all. And this is the first reverse marble piece. You can see that all of the silver and white stuck into the resin and came clean off the mold, and it's a really beautiful piece. But this time I thought I would try it a little bit differently. I've added down my white spray paint first, and now I'm going to be doing the same sort of fractured lines, but this time instead of doing silver, I decided I just wanted to do white, and I'm just using a white acrylic paint. So this is just a high fluid acrylic paint, and I've put it into another needlepoint bottle, and I'm going to be doing the fractured lines following the spray paint this time. So last time I did the fractured lines first and then tried to get the spray paint to follow the fractured lines, which was a little bit hard to do. So this time I thought it might be a bit easier on myself if I put the spray paint down and then just create fractured lines around the spray paint. So I'm doing white this time because I'm going to do an all white sort of marble piece with the black resin. The acrylic paint does stick a lot better to the silicone mold than the liquid silver does, so it was a little bit easier to work with, and you can see I'm just kind of following the shapes I've already created with the white spray paint, and this was a lot easier than trying to do it the other way and get the spray paint to follow the line work I've already done. And then once I was happy with that, I let that dry. I mixed up the same colors again. So I've got that mica powder, the black, and that gunmetal silver. And now I'm just doing a dirty pour, and this is all the exact same way I did it the first time. And when I do my dirty pour, I do try to pour in the same sort of shapes that I've already created with my spray paint and my sort of fractured lines. So that way it's a little bit more cohesive and it follows through. Once again, I left my resin to cure and it was time to demold, and once again you can see that the spray paint and the acrylic paint didn't stick to my silicone mold at all, and I got a really cool marble effect. I really like this one. I think it really looks organic and sort of follows the sort of shapes. Now, it is really hard to get my camera to focus on black resin because it is so shiny, but you can see that really sort of soft patterns that the dirty pour has created, which just sort of enhances the marble effect but doesn't sort of overpower it. This is the first one I did with the silver fractured lines, which aren't showing up on camera, but in real life they are really silver and it looks super beautiful, but they kind of look a little bit white on my camera. But I think both look great with the silver or the white fractured lines. I definitely like doing the spray paint first and then the fractured lines on top. The one thing I have learned is to bring the fractured lines the whole way down into the mold, because you can see in sections where I've stopped, the fractured lines do stop just on that edge. And so next time I would definitely bring it the whole way down, so that way you can't see the fractured lines stopping. I also just wanted to give a big thank you to Maria, who gave me my first ever super thanks on one of my ocean resin wave tutorials. Honestly, that means so much. Like, I just love creating these videos. I love sharing it. I love teaching. I love just sharing my passion to do with arts and crafts. But to then get like the super thanks, honestly, means so much. I don't expect it off anyone, but it is really helpful. It goes towards buying more art supplies to create some more videos. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much for that, and I really do appreciate it. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and like always, please give it a big thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down in the comment box below. I always try to answer them as much as possible. And don't forget to also check me out on TikTok and Instagram, as I do post other things on there that are different from what I do post on YouTube. So if you are on the other social medias, definitely go and check me out. It's just Sherry Vegas Artists or Sherry Vegas Workshops on all of those platforms. But I have rambled on for long enough, so give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new and you want to learn more resin techniques. But thank you so much for watching.